Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Cesar Rivas, Sound Payments, and I'll be doing the workshop today on Sound POS. A few minutes out still. Just want to make sure everybody is aware that we are going to be holding our workshop in a few minutes, all right? So we'll be right back to get started. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Cesar Rivas here. Still a couple of minutes out before we get started with this month's workshop. So hang in there. All right, I got about a minute, 45 seconds more or less to go. All right, we've got about 1 minute out. Again, Cesar Rivas here with Sound Payments. We'll get started shortly. Thank you. All right, we are a few moments from getting started on this month's reseller workshop for Sound POS. My name is Cesar Rivas, and I am the sales executive for Sound POS. So give us just a few more minutes, a few more moments, and we'll get started shortly. All right. All right. So I've got, let's see, 1 p.m. on the dot. There we go. So again, thank you for taking the time to join me today during this workshop. This is our second and last workshop for the year. Our last workshop will be in November, and then we'll get restarted again in March once holiday season has gone over and we got kind of gotten everything straightened out. So for those of you who've never been on this workshop, it's a half hour long. First 15 minutes, I'll be going over some material, and then the last 15 minutes, it's a quick sales the presentation. And it's the same sales presentation pretty much with every workshop. So if you've already been to the workshop, really the first 15 minutes is where you're going to really participate with some new material. These workshops are all recorded and they are on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, look for Sound Payments and just type in the word workshop, you should be able to find past workshops. We've been doing these now for about 3 years. Normally about 9 workshops per year. Like I said, we normally take 3 months off at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. Okay. The idea really with what we have to offer with Sound POS is provide you, the reseller, the tools to be able to gain that relationship with your merchants, to really empower you to have all the tools. And we provide you with a range of options in terms of onboarding and even hardware, which I'll be going over. Okay. So really today's session, and I'm kind of changing or deviating from what was on our web portal. It's going to be more about all the new features and the new hardware that have been introduced this year to Sound POS. I think we made so many changes and we've done this so quickly that some of you may have not noticed. If you do have any questions, please go to the Q&A section of the of Zoom and go ahead and type your question in there. I'll be looking at that constantly. All right. So again, we've added a lot of new features this year, and sometimes I feel like some of you may have missed out on some of those. Also, we've added a lot of new hardware. We were up until a year ago, we were pretty much a exclusive a pack shop. So our POS only ran on PAX devices, but we've expanded that now. We're going to be offering five different manufacturers, so you have a lot more options. Um, I know that one of the things that we mentioned was going to be covered today was the version of the Sound POS, which is going to be the light version. It's going to be just a watered down version, much less expensive, but that's probably going to be pushed until next year. The other product that I've talked about in the past is the software version of the POS, Android-based version you're going to be able to download. That also has been pushed to next year. All right. And then the next session, our last session at the end of November, I'm going to be talking about more specifically what plans we've got for 2026. All right. Um, what new features we're going to be offering and so forth. So when you come back in March, all of those features should be available. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is our hardware integrations. Okay. So give me 1 second here and let me switch screens. Um, so we've got we have, like I said, five different manufacturers now: Pax, Nextgo, Terminology. You're going to see Valor, even Deja Vu. Okay? And we've categorized our terminals into three form factors, pretty much. All right, we've got, of course, your countertop terminals, which those we've divided into high profile, low profile. So high profile is the ones that you see across the top. They usually have a customer-facing screen which can display marketing material as well as display the actual shopping cart in very good detail. Um, the E800, unfortunately, is going end of life with PAX, but the EF920, which is a Nextco device, and the C3 Plus, which is a terminology device, can provide the same function. The other format of our countertops is the low profile, which is like the E700 and the E700 Mini, okay, which are the ones you see on the bottom here. Okay, those are provide the same features, but don't have that secondary screen which you can display marketing material on. You can display, your shopping cart, but that's about it. And then, of course, we got kind of a more of a modular terminal with the Ellis. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Um, it's got a payment device, but it doesn't display marketing. It's again, it's just a payment device. So, but everything is kind of modular. We've had some issues there in terms of connectivity among the different peripherals. The second format we have, of course, is your handheld. And here you got, your Deja Vus. They're all pretty much the same. They all come with built-in printer, with the exception of the A77. But all of these, the Deja Vus, the terminology, the Valor packs, of course. They all come with, and Nextgo, they all come with built-in printers as well. And then we have a second or a third iteration, I should say, of our terminal format, which is kind of a crossover between a handheld and a countertop. And the reason why we consider it as a crossover because these two devices, the PAX E600 Mini and the Valor VP800, is that they do have a customer-facing payment device, which it'll display the actual items that are being rung up, and it's got the operator screen on the other side. And it's crossover because it's a little bit bigger than the handhelds, but it does have a long-lasting battery, so it can actually be taken off of its cradle and transported more of as a as I said a portable type of unit. All right, so I wanted to share with you guys what we've got in terms of hardware. As you can see, five different brands, multiple formats, for form factors that you can utilize to really try to fit any need that you may have. Okay. All right. Up next, I want to talk about our add-on services. These are services that don't necessarily come with. They may actually come at an additional price, whether it's a monthly fee, a one-time price, or just the purchase of equipment. Okay. And the first one I want to talk about is ID scanning. All right. We now have integrated ID scanning on the system. Now, um, we've always had barcode scanning in terms of product, but you need a different kind of scanner in order to be able to scan ID. So we do offer a USB version of the ID scanner as well as a Bluetooth version, so it's wireless. They both come in a stand. So if you want to program them just so you can just flash things in front of them and they'll automatically ring them up, they'll work as well. And because we've activated the ability to read IDs, any one of the PAX devices, the A77 or the A920 Pro, both of which come with a built-in scanner, infrared scanner, they can both read IDs as well. Okay, and all it takes is just a one-time fee to activate. So you would need to talk to your processor, obviously. We would just charge you that one-time fee, and from that point forward, that merchant will be able to use it. Okay, regardless of how many terminals they got or how many actual scanners they're going to be using. All right, so really good feature or for things like convenience stores that sell restricted age products, tobacco stores, and of course liquor stores as well. Okay. The next add-on item I want to talk about is the scales. We actually did a scale integration with the system. All right, it's a Star Micro stale, and they can connect either Bluetooth via wireless or USB. And it's very straightforward. You connect it, and then when you choose the item that you're going to utilize or that requires a weight, it'll ask you to use the scale. You just put it on a scale, boom, and you ring it up. And it's pretty much ready to go. It doesn't require any type of an additional monthly fee or any upfront fee. You just require to get the scales from us. All right. Um, and this, of course, is a really good feature for things like maybe bodegas that sell food by weight, maybe frozen yogurt places, even some tobacco and CBD stores that do sell some stuff by weight. All right. Um, the next item I want to highlight is the label printer. Okay, so with the label printer, you use a Brother QL810 printer. And the one on the top is the one that we use. It'll look something like this. Okay. And we've added some additional features on the POS so you can use the label printer. Okay. So first of all, under the maintenance menu, now you'd be able to find a label printing option here. Okay. And then when you go into that label printing option, you can choose what you want to print, whether you want to print all the inventory, specific category, or select items. You can print in four different sizes. So the advantage there is that you can even print your labels for, let's say your shelves. Okay. Everything from a small, like a square inch one, all the way to a big one, which is like something like 3 by or 4 by 3 by 4 inches. Um, Once you choose, what you want to print, then you can actually configure the label, and in the label you can choose what you want to print. Well, the barcode, price, if you're using dual pricing, whether you want to print the second price, and of course the number of items that you want to print. Okay, it's always going to print, of course, the product name. Later on, I'll talk a little bit about this, but you do have two barcode fields now for the product. So that's why you've got, the barcode could either be the SKU or the GTIN. You can choose which one you're gonna print out. Okay. All right. So that's the label printer there. The next thing I want to talk about is our kitchen display. We now offer a kitchen display solution. Okay. It replaces your kitchen printer. It's a it's not a full-blown version. It doesn't have a bump bar, but the actual monitor is touch sensitive, so you'll be able to recall, get rid of orders and things like that. You can color code it based on time. You can actually customize it, configure it to how long you want it to go from blue to yellow to red. Put your logo on there and so forth. It's a nice solution. And again, it works pretty much the same way as a kitchen printer does, but no need to buy the paper, thermal paper, or anything like that. And if it gets wet, no problem because it is both heat resistant and liquid resistant as well. All right. All right. Next item I want to bring up on the list would be our scan data or tobacco loyalty program. Okay, this is all something that's also available to, convenience stores, tobacco shops, liquor stores that sell anywhere that sells tobacco products, not just cigarettes, but even vape pens, chewing tobacco, and things like that. If you're not familiar with it, it's an industry paid loyalty program. Allows you to increase your foot traffic, your revenue, obviously, and the actual rewards are paid for by the tobacco companies, and it's done automatically. It's integrated to the system, so there's no need for you to keep separate records or anything like that. All right. So again, it's a way for you to increase your revenue, increase your foot traffic, and provide your clients with some loyalty rewards. All right. All right. And the other thing that I want to mention as an add-on service is our online ordering services. So we do have now a full integration to our POS of Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. This isn't an additional monthly fee. Okay, so is the scan data, by the way. Sorry, I didn't bring that up. The KDS is not. The KDS is just buying the equipment. All right. Um, but for scan data, for the delivery services, it's an additional monthly fee. Now, for these, that the advantage is normally when you sign up with them, if you don't have a POS that's integrated to their services, they'll give you a tablet. You have to pay for that, and of course, you have to be on the lookout for the tablet and then program them. Your sales reports and so forth will be separate, and so it might make it a little bit more challenging to keep track of what you're doing. With this solution that we're offering you, you'll be able to pull your sales report right from the terminal, right from the web portal, and you'll be able to see everything all at a glance. If you've got a kitchen printer or KDS, the orders will go directly there as well as your main terminal, and you'll be able to manage them from your terminal as far as where you are in preparation, pickup, and so forth. All right, so another add-on service. Okay. All right. The other area that I want to talk about is more of an industry specific features that we've added. All right. The first one is your what's called as the packaging and breakdown. Okay. This one allows you to create out of a single products, create packages like maybe six pack or case. So really good feature for things like convenience stores, liquor stores that will break down your six packs into singles and be able to track their inventory a lot more effectively. All right. Um, the other use is places like maybe fireworks retailers. These will normally package, like M80s and threes or fives and sell those as well. So again, just a much more effective way of managing your numbers without having to input a separate one for, the singles, six packs, cases. It's all one input and you manage it within only one product profile. All right. Um, the other um, improvement that I want to mention with regards to specific industry is the modifiers that allows you to add them automatically to your product. So for example, a bottle deposit. Some places that require bottle deposits, instead of your operator having to remember how much you need to collect for this bottle, how much for that one, and have to remember with each bottle to add that, you can actually program it so it automatically will add that bottle deposit. And then you can pull your reports for, how much you've sold in bottle deposit for 10 cents, for example. Be a lot easier to track that for state purposes. All right. You can also use it for food. Things like maybe your hot dog, right? When you ring up a hot dog, obviously you don't track inventory of the hot dog as a hot dog because it comes packaged as a bun and a sausage, but it'll automatically add the bun and the sausage and then keep track of those two products separate as far as inventory. Okay. All right, and then I want to bring up some overall improvements. Okay. The first thing is the new dashboard. So the new dashboard, if you go to the landing page on your store landing page, you've got four new charts. The first one is your total sales, which you can choose by hour, by day, by week. Okay. The second one is your sales by configuration, could be by product, could be by category, employee, and then you can even do a daily comparison. Okay. Um, You've got also your total profits. We did include now a profitability report. I'll show you later on, but it just shows you your gross margin and your profit. Okay. And then, of course, your transaction volume, which now you can actually look at by hour, day, week, and do a daily comparison. So brand new dashboard that we've added to the web portal. Okay. I mentioned the profitability report. So you've obviously got your profitability report on the terminal itself. It'll give you a profit margin. And then you actually have a profitability report that you can pull on the web portal here. It's at the bottom, a detailed or a totals report as well. It comes in Excel and PDF format. Okay. All right. Next one is now at the customer level, you can actually add a tax exemption. Excuse me. So if you've got a business customer who's always tax exempt, you don't have to remember them. You just program it into the system and they will not get taxed for their purchases. Okay. Another feature that we added is we now have a customer template, an Excel template you can actually use to import if you already have an existing list of clients. And the nice thing about it is that it also includes your credit information, okay, as well as your if you got any type of rewards or anything like that, it'll show you actually your rewards balances as well. Okay. Let's see it on here, but oh, here it is, loyalty points balance. Okay. So that's another, new feature. We added the template first, and then we made sure that it had both credit and the loyalty program, which we offer in case you're importing it from a program that also has similar features. Okay. Another feature that we added, the ability to copy existing products, just makes it easier to create your inventory. So if you have a product and you're going to create something that's similar, you just copy on it and it'll have, the same name and it'll say copy and you can just modify the name to whatever you want. But it'll actually open up the copied one so you can change the name right then and there and save it. So another feature that just makes it a little easier to add your inventory a lot quicker. Okay. We've added also, I mean, we've always had the GTIN field, but it wasn't really active, but now it is. So you can actually have two different SKUs or two different barcodes, I should say, and they'll both be active on the system. And the reason why we offer that is in case you've got a vendor or two vendors that offer you the same product, but they have different barcodes registered. This way you don't have to create two different product profiles. You create a single one, you add both barcodes, and you'll be able to maintain inventory as a single unit. Okay. And then the last thing is the variable price option. So now you can create an item and activate this, and when it's selected at the cash register at the sales screen, it'll actually prompt you to input the price. Okay. So now you can even have some variable price options. And like I said, for next year, or next month rather, I'm going to share with you what we're going to be doing in the next year. So let's see if we don't have any questions right now. We're going to move on to the second part of our presentation, which is, like I said, a quick sales presentation here with our POS, which you can utilize as your own reference. If you've seen it before, it's the same thing that you've seen in the past. So you're more than welcome to sign off. And again, you can go back to our YouTube channel and view any past presentations that I've done. All right, so first thing about us, we are a software development company out of Jacksonville, Florida, and Sound POS is one of our solutions. We also have a cloud solution that allows you to use a payment device with pretty much any POS, existing POS out there. That with some exceptions, of course. And we also have a solution to do a retrofit on gas station pumps to accept EMV. All right. Mentioned their new delivery service. All right. So yeah, that's a brand new feature that we've been offering. But our POS is really a customizable, very adaptable POS. It can work across different industries. I'd probably say, full service restaurants is one of the few exceptions. It allows you to, you know, modify a lot of the functionalities to fit exactly what your needs are. It's a cloud connected POS, so everything is stored locally on the terminal, but also on the cloud. So if you have multiple terminals, they'll talk to each other. You can start a transaction in one, finish it in another, or if one breaks down, it's very easy to replace. But it's not affected by maybe slow internet as far as ringing up an order because everything is stored locally. You have different ways in which you can track inventory. You also have a template you can use to upload. You can use a time card feature to keep track of employee hours, and you can even customize who has access to what, so you can restrict it. As I mentioned before, we do have a customer database that comes with both a credit account feature and a loyalty points program that you can configure. We have a gift cards program that's built in. It's a barcode-based gift card program, and it does work across multiple locations if you do have a merchant that's got more than one location. All right. It doesn't cost anything in addition. Of course, it's always synchronizing all of the information to the cloud, right? So any updates will actually take effect immediately. And then it comes with a web portal that's a browser-based web portal. So it works on any device that can support any major browser, computer, tablet, even a smartphone. Um, and then, of course, you've got a series of reports. You've got reports that are on the terminals themselves that pertain to the transactions that are run on each terminal. And then you've got reports on the web portal that are in Excel or PDF format, which can contain all the data from all the terminals in your store. And then you can use Excel to filter it and sort it in every which way that you'd like. All right. Um, so you can see on here, because it's got the cloud connection, you can access information remotely, real time. Um, we can work pretty much with any processor. We're processor agnostic, and then the deployment is also very simple because you can actually mail out the equipment and then do all the configuration on the back end. Same thing with the updates. They are not going to be disruptive as far as the device running because everything will be done in the background via the web. Um, You've got a very broad range in terms of hardware options, of course. Um, and just so you can get an idea, on the left-hand side, you can see what the POS looks like on a handheld device at the top, and then on your countertop at the bottom. The handheld devices have a full version of the POS. It's not a watered-down version or anything like that, right? It can do anything you would do on the countertop on the handheld. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the web portal. On the top would be what was on your computer, and on the bottom is what's on the handheld. That's what it would look like. All right. Our devices, well, I mean, these are for packs, but again, we've got multiple um, hardware and they run on Android. They can easily connect via Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and some of them may have the ability to connect via a SIM card. Most of them come with cameras, so you can use the cameras for things like if you want to take a picture of that product or if even of the customer. Okay. And yeah, as you've seen, we got multiple form factors. It could be countertop or it could be portable. Okay. Um, Very flexible in terms of what industry you can work with. I would say again, the only exception would be a full service restaurant because even in the food industry, it's a good fit. Quick start restaurants, mom and pops, storefront like the frozen yogurt that I mentioned previously. Food trucks, really good solution for that. And then on the retail side, again, there's really very, very, very limited um, instances where it would not be a good fit. Okay. We do provide, of course, 24/7 customer support. For the reseller, we've got Sound Hub, which is a dedicated web portal with information for resellers and tools for you. We provide with all the app and firmware updates, of course. We also do provide advanced level support for both you and the merchant, and a very, very experienced implementation team if you decide that you want us to go ahead and do your deployment. If you have the personnel to do the deployment yourself, we will provide full training for them to make sure that you guys are up to speed in terms of deploying efficiently. All right. All right. So with that, you got my information there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can go back to our YouTube channel to view this recording or any other recording that we've done in the past. And looking forward to seeing you next month. Remember, I believe the next one is going to be on let me see here, the 19th of November. Okay. So we'll talk to you then. Thank you.